Hey guys, welcome back to another Buddy Fight video. Today we're going to be reviewing this Sun Dragon deck right here. Basically kind of like an aggro Sun Dragon deck with Balle Soleil in it. Unfortunately, I do not have the Dragon Force, like the original version for Dragon World, but I do have the one from the Golden Buddy Champion deck, so I just put it in. But anyways, I'm going to be showing you guys the deck review. And before we get into this though, I want to say, if you guys want to see some more deck reviews, I'm going to leave a link to Hunter Surge's channel in the description below. Pretty sure if you're subbed to me, you're probably subscribed to him as well. But yeah, he's done like 2 or 3 deck reviews in the past few days. So if you want to see more deck reviews, go check out his channel. I also have another one, which I'll link in the description below, for a Darkness Dragon World one. And also, shout out to Red Dragonite for requesting this. If you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. Anyways, let's go straight into it. So as you see right here, our buddy right here is Great Sun Dragon, Balle Dragon, the buddy rare version from the Golden Buddy Champion box. For some reason, I always have trouble remembering the name. That's right there. And of course, we've got the flag from that box, right? Because this is like the only Dragon Ball flag that I have Gao on it. Anyways, let's get straight into the deck. Now, if my math is right, I'm pretty sure it should be 52 cards. Anyways, as you see, we've only got one size 3 monster in the deck. Well, let's get straight into it. We've got Super Sun Dragon Balle Soleil, so I basically took them out of the Darkest Dragon World deck right there. And see, we got triple rare version, buddy rare version. Works pretty well with Dragon World. Very nice offense to deal 3 damage. And also, you kind of have to get your opponent, like, it's a really good control card, because your Balle Soleil basically has to be attacked, or else if you be dealt damage at all, it's reduced by 1. So if they want to deal some good damage, they have to kind of attack Balle Soleil. Plus, its ability is really good. You got any extra gauge, you can pay gauge, destroy monster in your opponent's center if they're trying to protect themselves, you know. And also, it's really good with Sun Dragons, obviously with other size 0 combos that I'll show you guys later to gain life and extra effects. So we got 2 of those right there. Those are the 2 alternate arts. For those who want to see it, I'll show real quick. You guys can pause the video, have a look at the effect, for those who want to see it. So yeah, we've got 2 copies of Super Sun Dragon Balle Soleil. Moving on to the size 2s. I still want to balance out this deck again. I do want to still work on it. Like, in my opinion, it's still not like tournament standard, but yeah, I'm still working on it, guys. We've got 4 Great Sun Dragon, basically my buddy, basically just in non-buddy rare foil, basically from the Golden Buddy Champion box, and I just repeated myself like 50 times. But yeah, we got 4 copies of him right there. The reason that he's in the deck, obviously, because he is, you know, Balle, and I have a lot of copies of him, and you do need him to release Dragon Force, and also his ability is really good. You can look at the top 5 cards when you link attack of your deck, and then choose one, put them into your hand, basically exchange, and if you can, if I can't talk. If the top 5 cards of your deck, and Balle Soleil is in among them, you can put them into your hand, and obviously bring out that combo, you know, annoy your opponent a bit, and get out that extra damage. So, we got 4 copies of Balle Soleil right here, if I can pick up the card. Sorry, not Balle Soleil. Great Sun Dragon, Balle Dragon. Sorry, my mistake. Moving on to some more size 2s. We've got 2 Spirit Beat Dragon, just to add a little bit more offense to the deck. And see right here, he's got some pretty decent stats. 325, 3000 power, 5000 defense, critical 2. He's size 2. He's got move, but when he links attack, he can also give extra power and penetrate, which is really good for taking out your opponent's center that have really high penetrate. What am I saying? Really high defense. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm sorry. So we got 2 copies of him. We've got Double Knee Flare Dragon. Again, another defensive / offensive card right here with decent stats. 3, 2, 5. Just reading it in order right there. Power, critical, defense, size 2 monster, Double Knee Flare Dragon. It can basically get double attack if you have an item equipped with move. So dealing that extra damage to your opponent, or if you want to use this double attack to take out size 1 or 0s that are annoying to you. Moving on, we've got one of this card. This is the only version I have, but he's pretty good in my opinion. Swordsman of the Sun, Balle Dragon. I've only got 1 copy of him in the deck, but again, he's got decent stats. 6, 2, 4. 1 gauge only to call. I'm going to enter his field, put a soul from monster in your opponent's field into your drop zone, and when link attacks, destroy monster in your opponent's field. So basically, taking out those cards like for, I don't know, like Demon Godel, for example, that have Soul Guard and like in the center that you just want to get rid of, or can be really annoying. So yeah, it's pretty useful for that, and of course, it's a Balle, so we can use him to release Dragon Force. Moving on, we've got 2 Burning Rapier Dragons right here. So his stats may not be the best, 4-1-1, but his ability is really good. When he links attack, you get to draw a card, especially if you're trying to get Balle Soleil, because again, there's only 2 copies of Balle Soleil in the deck, and that's kind of like the main card that you want to get. But yeah, he's really good for drawing cards, especially the shields or whatever you need, and he's really cool. He is basically a Sun Dragon version of 1000 Rapier Dragons. Yeah, I blanked out on the name for a second. So we got 2 copies of those in the deck. Moving on, we've got 2 size 1 Prominence Bursts right here. Decent card, 3, 2, 1. Maybe not the best stats in power and defense, but its ability is really good. When it links attacks with another Sun Dragon, destroy an item on your opponent's field, 1 gauge to call, and it's also got moves, so you can also use him as a defense. We've got 2 copies of him in the deck. Moving on, we've got 2 Mirror Driver Dragon, really high power in case you need to take out some other stuff, but he can also give Penetrate, which can be pretty useful if you need to dish out some damage. Basically, when he links attacks, you see, pause the video, heavily effect, gains Penetrate, so we got 2 copies of him right there, in case you want to deal some extra damage, while taking out your opponent's center. This card from the Buddy Champion deck, I also decided to put in for some reason. Awakened Battle Dragon, it's a really useful monster. Basically, when it's called, return up to 1 Sun Dragon item for your drop zone into your hand, any Sun Dragon item, which includes Dragon Force as well. Plus, he also has Battle Dragon in his name, so you can use him, obviously, of course, to release Dragon Force as well. So there's a lot of cards in this deck, just so I'm always able to bring out Dragon Force if I need it. I think this deck would work a lot better if I substituted the Dragon Force. I'll show you guys later. If I had the actual original Dragon Force, the one that when it links with Sun Dragon, you can stand, it would be a lot more powerful. But yeah, so basically, very nice size 1, decent stats, critical of 2, and you can get your Sun Dragon item from your drop zone into your hand. Moving on, we've got only one of this triple rare Fair Flying Dragon SD size 0, basically to use with Balle Soleil. This Balle Soleil is the only size 3 monster in this deck, keep in mind. I should probably add more size 3s, but I just decided to keep it that way. We've got 2/1/1, so not the highest stats, but his ability is really good. It basically can gain extra power in case you need to take out those pesky lower defense monsters, and during your turn, when a monster in your opponent's field is destroyed, draw a card. So really good. Again, we have a lot of cards that can draw cards. Search your deck just so we can get out that Balle Soleil as fast as possible, bring out that Dragon Force, and just deal a ton of damage and just rush our opponent completely. So we got 1 copy of him. We've got 2 Mirror Blade Dragon SDs in the deck right here. His stats, again, aren't the highest. He's size 0, but his ability is really good. When a monster in your opponent's field is destroyed, so it doesn't even have to be the center, put top card deck into your gauge and gain 1 life. So it's pretty good, again, getting that gauge of life when you need it. So we got 2 of him right there. So as you see, there's a lot of size 0s that I'm showing you guys right now to use with Balle Soleil. And then, of course, we got the one that Gal used, I believe, in the most recent episode. Glow Dragon Jr., 2 copies of him right there, as you see. Decent stats, maybe not the highest in power and defense, but you can get a critical of 3 if your opponent's center is destroyed. So, pretty good for dealing that extra damage. So basically, high crit and no call cost. Now, moving on to the spells. I feel like I'm kind of rushing this, guys, because I basically am. Anyways, moving on, we've got Sunshine Rush right here, 2 copies of it in the deck. You can actually use this card offensively and defensively. That's what I meant to say. Basically, you can only cast this card if you have 5 life or less. Read the effect. Call up to 1 size 2 or less Sun Dragon monster that is not an impact monster by paying its call cost. You may only use Sunshine Rush once per turn. So, basically calling a size 2 or less Sun Dragon monster that is not an impact monster, so, for your drop zone. So, if I have, like, for example, Dragon Force in my hand, I can use this card and get, like, one of the battles in my drop zone into my hand, call it, and then equip Dragon Force. Unfortunately, Balle Soleil is size 3, so, unfortunately, I cannot get it if it's in the drop zone. But it's still really good as offense or defense. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is supposed to be used for defense, to bring out a Sun Dragon to sacrifice so you can defend yourself. So it can be used defensively or offensively. So we've got Dragon Force cancel right here. I don't have the original Dragon Force from Demonic Dragon, but this card is still really good. You can only cast a card if you a card that has Dragon Force in the card name on your field. 1 gauge basically nullify the abilities of all monsters on your opponent's field. So that includes their counter attack, their soul guard, their double attack, just everything. It's not a counter card, so you do have to use it on your turn. So you basically have to use it before your battle phase, and of course you need to have the Dragon Force equipped. But it's still pretty good in certain situations. And it's from the deck, and you know it's got Dragon Force in the name. So we got 2 of those in the deck right there. Moving on, we've got one of this card right here because it's the only copy I have. Sun in the Darkness. It's a really good card in my opinion, especially for Dragon World, because Dragon World doesn't have too many cards that really allows you to draw cards, except for the new like size 0s here, as you guys have just seen. Basically, its ability, you guys pause the video, draw a card, and so you basically get to draw a card and put the top card deck into your gauge if you meet the right conditions. Moving on, so with only 1 copy of that, as you see, it's a Dragon World Darkness Dragon World dual card right there. Moving on, we've got 2 Blessing of the Suns for that extra gauge. Basically, top 3 cards of your deck if you have Sun Dragon on your field. It does not counter, so you do have to use it before your attack phase. But of course, if you need the extra gauge to call Balle Soleil, equip your item. Super helpful. Moving on, we've got 2 Battle Rescue. This is another card that can also give you 2 gauge, but has an alternate ability. So it has 2 abilities basically. If you have a monster Battle Dragon X card on your field, return 1 Sun Dragon monster. I can't talk. Return 1 Sun Dragon monster from your drop zone into your hand. So if you have Battle Dragon, Super Sun Dragon, I can't talk, guys. Super Sun Dragon, Balle Soleil in your drop zone, and you have a Battle Dragon on your field, you can use this card and return that Balle Soleil from your drop zone into your hand. So it's pretty useful. And again, for those who don't know, it is classified as a Sun Dragon right there. I don't think the camera can see it, but if you guys can, right there where my thumb is, Sun Dragon attributes. So you can actually use this card to get Balle Soleil from your drop zone. And of course, you can get that 2 gauge if you need it. So we got 2 of those. And of course, you can get any Sun Dragon as well, as long as it's a monster. Anyways, we've got 2 Dragons right here. So for example, if we have Balle Soleil or a monster I want to keep on the field, you know, to like release Dragon Force or something, you keep it on the field. And next time that monster will be destroyed, it remains on the field, and you get 2 life. So it's a really good card, but you can't use it if you have a monster in the center, unfortunately. But it's still a really good card, especially if you want to keep Balle Soleil on the field, because your opponent really does need to take Balle Soleil out, or they will be at a huge advantage. So 2 of those to keep Balle Soleil and your other monsters on the field. Moving on, I did not put any cards with reduced damage, but I just decided to put in a few shields. I will probably modify the deck and make it better in the future, but yeah. So far, these are the only defensive spells, kind of. At least the main ones. We got 2 Blue Dragon Shield, Nullified Attack, top card deck engage. You guys know what the shields do if you guys have been watching the anime. We've got 4 Sun Dragon Shields, one from the first, what's it called? The very first Sun Dragon trial deck, or what was it, starter deck, yeah. And then, so basically just 2 alternate artworks for Sun Dragon Shields, same effect, 4 Dragon Shields as you see right there. Basically, its ability, Nullify Attack, top card deck engage, gain 1 life, and if you have 2 more Sun Dragons on your field, can't be nullified. But you do have to meet the conditions of the card, which is, as you see right there, you only cast a card during attack on your opponent's turn, and if you have a monster center and you have a Sun Dragon on your field. So, we got 4 of those cards right there, 4 Sun Dragon Shields to get you gauge and life. Moving on to the items, guys, we've got 2 Sun Blade Balle Beeline, 2 copies right there. So as you see right here, guys, it is 2 gauge to equip, what am I saying? Its power isn't too high, but guys, it has a critical of 3, and also when it links attacks with the Sun Dragon, you can put a soul from monster opponent's center into his or drop zone and destroy that card. So they're trying to use a card with Soul Guard in the center just to be a little defensive. You can easily take this out if you link attack with a Sun Dragon, and of course open up that center and just completely rush your opponent for damage. And it's got 3 critical, so in my opinion, it's worth. We've got 2 of those in the deck. Moving on, we've got 2 Sunstone Battleflame. Now this can be an offensive and defensive card. I really like it, and it's not very expensive at all. It's only 1 gauge with decent stats, 5,000 power, critical of 2. As you see, its ability is counteract, so you can't use this on your opponent's turn. Put this card in your draw zone. If you do next time damage you dealt to you this turn, it is reduced by 2. So we got 2 copies in the deck, deal that decent damage, but so it's big. You can basically use it as an offensive and defensive card. Moving on, we've got 2 Dragon Force Straight Punches. Now there is a 3rd one, but I decided to replace it. Like, I have 3 copies, but I decided to replace it with a Sun Fist Battle Guard, just because I feel like this card can defend, like, for example, if you have Balle Soleil on your field, you want to keep it alive, this card is super helpful. But yeah, we've got 2 copies of Dragon Force Straight Punch. For those who don't know what it does, you guys pause the video, have a look at the effect. I'm going to give a quick summary. Same release condition and a quick cost as the regular Dragon Force, but its ability is a little bit less powerful. When it link attacks with another, Sun Dragon destroy all monsters your opponent fields and deal damage to your Pokemon. Yes, sorry, and deal damage to your opponent equal to the number of cards destroyed. I don't know what's up with me today, guys. I keep saying other random words. We've got 2 Dragon Force Straight Punches right there. You know, to get that Dragon Force, clear your opponent's monsters, and of course deal that effect damage. Then we got 1 Sunfist Battle Guard, the only copy I have. Again, I said if I want to keep important monsters on the field like Balle Soleil, this card is really good in my opinion. And again, it's got decent stats, 2 critical, 6,000 power, and can't be destroyed by effects from your opponent's cards. So we got 1 of those. So in total, guys, in the Sun Dragon deck, we've got how many? 7 items in total. So, moving on, I don't actually have any Battle Impact monsters, or at least ones from the main series. And this card can pack a real punch, and it's from the Buddy Champion deck, so I have 4 copies. So I just decided to put it in. So as the only Impact monsters, we got Battle Dragon, Battle Weapon combination. This card, in my opinion, is very powerful and can easily deal a lot of damage if you can land a hit. 3 gauge for this card on top of Sun Dragon monster field. When it enters the field, stand a Sun Dragon item on your field, and for this turn, that item can attack during your final phase, guys, with 10,000 power, 5,000 defense, and a critical 2, and also has Soul Guard as well. And when this card link attacks with the Sun Dragon item, for this turn, that item and this card gets penetrate and critical +1, guys. So, for example, if I was to take Sunblade Beeline, if you link attack with these two, like so, this gains critical +1, and this also gains critical +1, which totals up to 7 damage, guys. For 3 gauge, it's worth it, guys. 7 damage with penetrate, of course, so, but if they nullify penetrate, then that could be a little bit of a problem, but they usually, I don't think there's actually that many monsters that really nullify penetrate, especially during, like, final phase, because usually you would have taken it out. But yeah, guys, it can deal a lot of damage if you combo it with the weapon. So I'd probably say the only weakness with this deck would probably be maybe defensive-wise, maybe dealing against, like, other cards that can easily pop, like Darkness Dragon World, that can, you know, just Gaito, just call it, like, sorry, I'm pulling a blank right here, like, the Darkness Dragon World deck, the guys that I showed you before, like, Abigail, yeah, how its ability can just easily pop monsters and destroy a card in your opponent's field. But overall, it is able to deal out that damage pretty well. And again, cards like Sunfist Battle Guard, this card can't be destroyed by effects from your opponent's card. And Balle Soleil is able to really just be annoying to your opponent and deal a lot of damage. And especially with combos with high critical items and other size zeros, it can be a pretty good combo in my opinion. Again, I'm not saying this is like the best Sun Dragon deck out there, but it is really powerful and extremely useful. So yeah, guys, tell me in the description below, sorry, not in the description, see guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. In the comments below, what you think of this Sun Dragon deck. Do you think it's good? Do you think it could use some improvement? I definitely think it could use some improvement. But in my opinion, it's your pretty average Sun Dragon deck, and it can deal out a lot of damage if you get the right hand and you know what you're doing. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Red Dragonite again for requesting this video. If you guys have any other Buddy Fight deck requests in the comments below, tell me. Again, I won't be able to do deck profiles for every single thing, and I'm so sorry for messing up my words. If you've watched up until this point, comment hashtag Balle Soleil in the comments below, guys. And I'll see you guys later in the next Buddy Fight video. See ya.